It's odd at a time like this, but I keep thinking of the last conversation I had with my father. For a long time, I thought I had figured out what he was trying to tell me, but now, I'm not so sure. I guess it doesn't matter at this point. My ship's about to come in, and then I'm finally out of here. I'm not sure where I'll end up, but it has to be an improvement. What's that saying? Life sucks and then you die? Pretty much. But how did I even get here? It's an old painting of our family cabin. Why is it just sitting out here? If I get really lucky and survive this, then I've got the bills. That should be fun. I've never liked needles. Well, I guess nobody really likes them, but I really hate them. But I've gotten used to them over the last year or so. What fun! Ugh, this one's got grass in it. Daddy, why are you crying?
You've grown up so fast, Beth. When did that happen? Must have been while I was at work. You know, when you were born, I only had 3 days with you and your mom before I had to go back to work. I hated that. But I felt the job was too important. They always told me that I couldn't take time off because the work I was doing was too important. Although, never important enough for a raise. All the times I went in on Christmas Day or your birthday, I was just doing what I thought was responsible. After all, we can't afford me not to work. But then again, we can barely afford things with me working. Just enough to get by. But the years just go by, and I wonder why I've put up with this for so long. When we took out life insurance, I realized I was literally worth more dead than alive. Working this much was supposed to change that, or at least give us more comfort, but it hasn't. Not even close. And yet, I still go into the office day after day. I thought if I followed the rules, I would be rewarded. I'd reach some plateau where I would have more time and money and be able to enjoy life. But now it feels like I'm just following these silly rules for no reason. And all they do is make things harder. It all seems so arbitrary. So what do? Hold out until retirement? You'll be living on your own by then. Quit? We can't afford that. Get a new job? I've got no time to look into it while I'm working, and it's too risky for me to leave. I used to dream of vacations we would take to different parts of the world, or even just to the family cabin. You would play outside while I would paint. God, I haven't painted in so long. I bet I'm rusty. I failed you, Beth. I thought I was doing what was best, but you growing up without me isn't what's best. Not for you, or for me. So why am I crying? Because there's never enough time for what's really important.
I can't decipher any of the text in these books. How weird. I can't decipher. This one is my bed, but it's not supposed to be at the cabin. There's nothing here anymore. Dad didn't make it through the night. His car had gone right over a ledge. It was an accident, supposedly. Maybe I wouldn't have taken it so hard if I knew I'd be joining him so soon. You again. You come in here uninvited and tear the whole place up. Who do you think you are? All this time I've already spent trying to stay ahead of you. But no matter what, you always get one step closer. How long can I keep this up? There's this chunk of years after Dad died and before I left home that is just one big blur of frustration. Kids made fun of me in school for having a dead father. I wish I had stood up for myself instead of just letting them pile on. Looking back, I should have gone in there on the first day of middle school and hit someone with a chair. Then everyone would have left me alone. Sounds like jail. But then again, the two institutions have a lot in common. But one day, a teacher pulled me aside. She really did try to connect with me, and at some point, she asked what I wanted to do with my life. Without thinking, I blurted out, paint. That didn't go over so well at home. Looking back, I was too hard on her. I felt like she hated the artistic part of me, but that wasn't it. She was just concerned that it wouldn't bring in the big bucks. She wanted me to go into a career that would guarantee success. But I had seen what going after that guarantee had done to my father. It was clear we would never see eye to eye. Eventually, I left for the city to start college. I had gotten used to tuning her out, but she said one thing that haunted me. Beth, your father was a loving man, but he was also disturbed. Deeply disturbed. He was overwhelmed. And he gave up. Whatever fate holds for you, please don't ever give up. Dad's life insurance had taken care of us for a few years, but it wasn't going to pay for college. Even with financial aid, I had to take a job as a cashier to support myself. I could justify it while I was actually in school, but the bills didn't stop coming in just because I had graduated. In fact, I wasn't sure when I was going to be secure enough to give it up. Nobody was exactly banging down the door for my painting skills. I just felt so aimless, and that made me furious. I thought it couldn't get any worse. In retrospect, that was silly of me. At least I didn't have to deal with you back in those days. The way people talk about life makes it sound like your entire future is determined right as you become an adult. If you don't pick the right job at the right time, you're done forever. That can't be right, can it? Why would life be so long if it was so easy to ruin it early on? Seems pointless. It didn't help that I was so isolated. I didn't like anyone I spent time with. They were all such self-absorbed idiots. I was starting to think about life as a hermit until that day in the store. Nice. 2 minutes to midnight, then we're closed and I'm out of this dump for the evening.
Right down to the wire. I guess next time I should start earlier.
What? Is this all for you?
Yep, I like to stock up.
And of course you had to do this right before we close. Blarg.
Oh, sorry about that. Hey, I'll walk down here and bag the stuff myself. That should help you get out of here a little quicker.
That's nice of you. Jeez, I'm acting like a spoiled kid. I'm really sorry.
Don't worry about it. You sound like you just need a day off.
A day off? Who ever heard of such a thing?
That's no joke, man.
I'm not a man.
Oh yeah, obviously. I call everyone man, it's just my thing. But seriously, working too long with no time for yourself will make you nuts.
Sounds nice, but they'll never give me the time off.
Your time is not theirs to give. But I've got an idea. How about you take Friday off and we'll hang out in the city? It'll be fun.
You're serious, aren't you? He was. And he was right. If I could live for another 10 or 20 years, I wouldn't remember the guilt trip my manager laid on me for taking that Friday off. But I would remember how much fun we had that day. I was hoping to open an art gallery. Nothing huge or anything. Just a place where I could have little exhibits and work on my own stuff.
That sounds like it'd be fun. Where would it be?
Well, there's already a lot of stuff like that in the city. I would want to try making it happen in a smaller community. Someplace where there was demand.
Yeah, like a suburb. Have you considered Birchwood?
Where's that?
It's about a half-hour bus ride from the city. My older brother lives out there, and he says there are a lot of artist types. They try to do events, but they have no space for it. They usually just wind up having exhibits in someone's basement. I figure if you could get it off the ground and maintain it, you might get a nice following.
Wow, that would be amazing.
I should probably be getting home, but this was a lot of fun. We should do it again.
Sometimes I thought Artie was a blockhead. But in his own way, he could seem so wise. He was the only person I spoke to who was actually encouraging about my gallery idea. Everyone else would always come up with various reasons why it couldn't work. As if I hadn't thought of that. As if I hadn't thought of every possible thing that could go wrong ever. I told him about that once. He said, "Beth, that's called support." Actually, what he said was, "Hey man, don't mention it. That's called support." Dimwit. Funny, compassionate dimwit. He got me to think seriously about the future. About the possibility that it might actually be good. And when that happened, I started to think I could just wipe the past away. What was in here? You know what? It doesn't even matter. Not anymore. You really put a stop to all that pesky hope and happiness, didn't you? When I finally die and you can't torture me any longer, what will you do? It would have been nice to know ahead of time that things were going to turn out this way. That way, I would know not to get my hopes up. It would have been easier for Artie, too. The poor guy. He was about to learn what support really meant. I decided the only fair thing to do was to give him a way out. To tell him I'd understand if he left me. I thought he would take me up on that. Just because he was so good at keeping his life peaceful and relaxed. But he said he wasn't going anywhere. I wish I could say that fixed anything. I wish love really could conquer all. But love didn't save my father, and it won't be able to save me either. I don't want to leave Artie behind, or to give up on my dreams, but I just don't know what to do now. At some point, I just have to accept the reality of this. The fact is, I was doomed the moment I heard the news. I just tried to keep myself sane by pretending there was hope. All the doctors are gone. I guess they gave up too. I look so peaceful. Maybe that's a good sign. Goodbye, Artie. And thanks. No sense hanging around here any longer. Time to make my way to the ship. I can't feel my legs anymore, but maybe I don't need them. That's right. Now I'm here. Before I get on, I just need a few minutes to think. I suppose there isn't any harm in just taking one quick look. Wow. People have been really nice. Too bad I can't stay here forever. I guess I should check out the offices behind the curtain and then head for the ship.
Having fun?
Yeah. I really am. Do you want to look around the back office before I leave?
Leave? In the middle of your party? No way, man! You gotta help me wrangle these two at least.
What? What are you talking about?
Ah, I hear them now.
Are they mine? They look like me, and yet they look like Artie, too. I feel so different. Like, maybe I could fix the things that went wrong in my life by making sure they didn't have to suffer like I did. This. Everything here with me now. This is what's important. This is what my father was trying to tell me. Still, what good is that now when I'm about to die? But what if I didn't die? Well, then I could do anything. I could build a real life for myself. Mom, Dad was right about what really matters. But you were right too. I can't give up. And even if I do have to die, it's better to go down fighting. There's only one thing left to do now. You're a cheating bastard, you know that? One rule for you and a different rule for me? I'll beat you even if you cheat. Won't that be embarrassing for you? This is impossible. He's right behind me and there's nowhere to go. Why did I think I could do it? All I've ever done is fail. Why should that change now? No, forget this. I'm done following your rules. I'm going to take 2 steps, and there's not a goddamn thing you can do about it. Not much fun when things are fair, is it? Well, just wait. Now, I'm going to take 3 steps. So long, sucker. He's far behind now, but he's not quitting. I may never be rid of him for good. But if I can keep this pace up, I'll make it. He's done controlling my life. It's about time I stepped into that role. My ship's about to come in, and I'm the captain.